Welcome to Softcore History.
What is up? Welcome back to Softcore History. I am your host, Rob Fox, again, joined as always by Dan Regester.
I'm sorry, I didn't have a topic today. You had to step up. You're pinch hitting, I get it. Going back-to-back weeks. Oh, the humanity.
Yeah, I mean, I would have had to write an episode anyway, and it would have probably been this exact same episode.
Oh, we're talking about the Hindenburg. Oh, the humanity.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know my history shit. There we go.
Oh, the humanity.
Oh.
Joined by Boosh.
Alex Buscemi. Boosh is here, our former memer.
How about just fellow writer?
Yes.
Well, I mean, for
Fellow
Softcore
writer.
And
History,
good friend.
obviously he's our fellow writer.
Yes.
And, yeah, he's a friend.
Pal.
He's a guy. He's our pal. He's our buddy.
Someone I enjoy hanging out with.
We
I
do.
love Boosh. I don't see you enough.
Well, yeah. Well, you got fucking 10 kids now or something.
Yeah.
He doesn't miss.
Two
Just such
and
a-
change.
Such a Catholic.
Yeah, well, you know, look, I put it in. Something comes out. That's what happens. I don't know what to tell you.
You could pull out. You know. Stay off her. man.
Pulling out's unnatural.
Yeah, that's stupid. And we don't have sex that much. I'm just 3 for 3.
We've had sex 3 times.
And it's just, that's
And-
it. So I am off her most of the time, but every time I get on her, it's just, yeah, in, out. Data in, data out. Bad data in, bad data out. But, you know,
Yeah.
it is what it is. How you doing?
Dude, I'm doing good. I actually had a fairly major surgery on Tuesday.
I forgot about that.
What? Oh,
Yeah.
is that why you can't drink that much?
Yeah. Do you want to see the scars?
Yeah.
Look at this shit.
Oh!
I can't believe you're
Look.
drinking as is.
Dude, my belly button is never going to be the same. It's like split in half.
What is that thing? You have a colostomy bag?
No, that's just a bandage.
Okay.
Because like what happened was when you get older, sometimes your blood vessels change in your body, and one of my blood vessels decided to settle on top of a ureter that leads to my kidney, and so like my kidney couldn't drain piss, so they had to just go in with these big robot arms with chopsticks on the end, and just fucking rearrange my guts, and now I'm better.
Ayo.
Oh, so it wasn't even...
Yeah, rearrange my
They
guts.
had a rope...
Like literally though, rearrange my guts.
Yeah. But they had a robot do it?
Yeah.
As in somebody was operating the robot
yeah,
from somewhere else?
some Indian guy was operating a
Okay.
robot.
Was he in the building or was he even in the country? Because, dude, they...
Literally, his name was Dr. Mystery, and I never met him. Like, I never met my surgeon. Like, I met his partner, but so, yeah, he might have just been operating on me from fucking
I
Aruba.
think you got operated on by the robot in Fallout.
There's a bomb inside of you. Yeah. Dr. Mystery.
That would explain why, my stomach is just beeping every now and then.
Yeah.
Like a microwave.
100%.
They're going to make you do like things like rob a bank, kind of do their henchman work. And if you don't do it, they'll blow you up.
I'm just a sleeper agent waiting to be activated like Zoolander.
Pretty much. That is... Wait, his name was Dr. Mystery?
Yeah.
And you did not find out where he was?
Never met the guy. Don't know what he looks like.
Now, was this
I
a
met his-
hospital or a vet?
It was
maybe a
just
back
like
alley?
this. It was this alley
It's a very
behind
nice
a 7-Eleven.
veterinarian. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but yeah, it was crazy, dude. And then they patched me up, gave me some hydros, and I'm all better now.
Were you out same day?
No, I spent the night in the hospital because they were like, they had to move my colon out of the way. They wanted to make sure that like they didn't puncture it, and I was gonna fucking die. But yeah, we made it. I farted out of my dick. That was kind of crazy.
You peefed.
I peefed, dude. Like they gave me a catheter, and I was peeing in a catheter for a while. And if you have a catheter for like over 24 hours, you get air bubbles in your bladder. They didn't tell me this, so I get home and I take my first pee, and I'm just peeing, and then my pee stream stops, and then my dick makes this gurgling sound, and it just goes. Fucking nightmare. And then I start peeing again. I was like, what the fuck was that? I call the doctor, and they're like, oh, yeah, dude, you just have air bubbles in your bladder.
Oh, that's a nightmare.
Yeah. And it literally sounded like, when you turn the faucet on for the first time after they shut off the water.
Yep.
It sounded like that.
It was that.
It literally was that.
Yeah.
It was kind of crazy.
It's
Jesus
like
Christ.
after you come, the first time you piss, you got the viper piss coming out.
Yeah.
So
That-
it's just that on steroids.
Yeah, it was kind of like that. It was like
Christ.
it was kind of crazy. And then the first time I came,
Yeah, I was gonna say what
it was
happened.
very thick and viscous, and just kind of it just kind of oozed out like
You got an oil change. You're like good to go.
yeah, it was very thick jizz that just kind of it
How's
didn't have
the
any. It
release?
didn't have
I'm
any.
not very squeamish, but this is just nightmare.
Do you want to look at the scars again?
No, the scars don't bother me, dude. I look up like prolapse photos all the time for my main job, but this is just.
Yeah, catheters are fucking.
I never want a cath. I've avoided a catheter so far in my life. Obviously, I know it will be impossible to avoid that forever, unless I get like T-boned on the way home and die, or you know what I mean. Like, eventually I'll have a catheter, but God, fuck that.
Dude, this was my second time within a month getting a catheter.
Yeah, Rob. There's a good
because-
chance you die young.
Why?
Every day's a blessing.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say because only the good die young.
Yeah,
But
You're not a good man.
yeah, I think so. I'm good.
you're gonna live forever.
Boom, boom. All these idiots dying
This
young.
shit,
Can you imagine? What a moron. What a moron are you? You walk into a room, you light up every room you walk into. Bye.
Yeah, every time you change somebody's life for the better, you're taking years off your life.
Yeah. I walk into a room, everyone groans. I live forever.
You're a cockroach.
Every time you help an old lady cross the street, that's a day of your life gone.
At minimum. Yeah. If you're living and someone's like, you're the best person I know, you don't have long to live.
Right. Start smoking cigarettes, blow that smoke into a baby's face, spit on their mother.
Yeah, you're gonna live longer smoking cigarettes than you are gonna be being nice to babies.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Be nice to your own babies, but any other baby is fine.
They're
Although
not
deadbeat
gonna
dads, I
be-
feel like.
They're not going to be champions, though, if you're nice to them. If you want your kids to succeed, you need to be a deadbeat father.
Tua got spanked and he can't read anymore.
He got hit too hard. Kind of rattled his brain.
Yeah, I suppose there's a nice Goldilocks zone of.
You can't give your kid CTE before he plays football.
He was spanked on the ass. He wasn't spanked on the temple.
Yeah, but he hit him so hard on the ass.
Oh, it just reverberated.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, might as well get into this week's episode since it's spooky month here at Softcore History. Yeah. We, Halloween Horror Nights, right in the thick of it.
Just like Bush's jizz.
Yeah. Thick as with.
Yeah.
thick into spooky month as Bush's jizz. God damn it.
I will say, though, so I was in Oregon this past weekend, and everyone that came up to me was just like, you're a lot bigger than I thought. And then they also mentioned you, and like, is Rob like 5'8"? Do we give off like small guy energy?
I'm fucking 5'11".
I know.
What the fuck?
And I towered over these people.
You don't look small on the screen.
They said on screen I do not appear as big as I am.
You guys got to do this standing up, maybe.
Apparently, like I'm 2 to 3 inches taller than the average American male.
I guess we give off bitch energy.
Bitch, yeah, which is
Bitch
fine.
made energy.
I do have a running joke that my wife has multiple bowls, so
It's not completely true.
no, multiple. It makes it sound like a lot. It's
Right.
2.
It's 2.
Yeah, people are stupid. Anyway, let's get into this week's episode. Today we are talking about the Blair Witch. A woman or something
You love witches.
that is both a witch and a ghost. A ghost witch. Which feels like one of the most frightening combinations of supernatural entities that you can have. Like a witch ghost. So you get double power. You have witch powers and ghost powers.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
We set you on the stake. We're trying to burn you. You go ghost mode. Oh, no. How do we get you?
how do we kill you now? How do we burn you now? I mean, you can exorcise her, I guess. But like, I was trying to think of other combos that would be worse than witch ghost, and like maybe like a witch wolf, like a witch werewolf, like a beast that has that can do evil magic.
Yeah, it's like really smart, but also
Yeah.
can fuck you up. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Like physically, you have no chance against it, and also it has crazy magic.
Dude, you know how my kidney problem happened? I was attacked by a spirit in the Philippines called a duende.
That's right.
What is a duende?
So,
So, dude, I was in the Philippines.
This is true. This is true, by the way. He was in the
right
Philippines.
right before I got back and found out I needed surgery. I was in the Philippines. It started out as the best week ever and turned into the most painful week ever. we were.
You were
so-
warned though. Like they warned
and
you, do
really-
not piss in the bushes without.
Yeah, I'll tell. Okay, basically, we get to the Philippines. It's amazing. I highly recommend going. We went to
Oh,
Manila.
my grandpa went.
Or did he not? Did you just stay there and marry a Filipino woman?
No, it was World War II. He had to kill Japanese guys.
Oh, but I bet
You probably had a better time than he did.
But he still probably
No,
banged
he had
lot
a
of
great
Filipino
time.
women.
What are you
Yeah, I'm
talking
sure he had a
about?
great time. He was actually also a doctor in the army, so he was just.
He was.
He just
double-
kept screaming, "Get some!"
he was doubly attractive to them then. But dude, yeah. So it's great over there. Like we went to Manila. We were like the only white people at this bar. Everyone comes up to us, wants to dance with us, take pictures with us. We felt like we're taller than everyone, and our money goes way further. So I felt like an NBA player. And but yeah, like there was this beautiful woman who's like half Filipino, half Japanese. She's like throwing herself at me. My friends are like, dude, this girl's really hot and throwing herself at you. She's definitely a prostitute. And I was like, dude, I don't even care. Like, let's fucking do this.
Let's go.
So
You're like,
I
I've got
bring-
$8. It's fine.
yeah, it was like it would have been $50 USD. So like I go back to the hotel with her. We bang. It was amazing. And afterward, I was like, so how much? How much? And she was like, what are you talking about? I was like, and I was like, oh shit, she's not a prostitute. But I quick thinking, I go, oh, I was gonna buy your cab home. And she's like, oh, you're so sweet, but I have a private driver who'll come get me. So she was like a rich Filipino chick.
Hell yeah.
After Manila, we go to Siargao, which is this beautiful beach island, and it's the best week of my life. I'm surfing. I meet this beautiful woman there, and we're like hanging out all week, and we are chilling at this brunch spot, and this guy is wearing a shirt that says Siargao Skate, and my friend's a skater, so they're talking skate shit, and he's like, come to this like private beach party with us, and we're like, yeah, sure, let's go. So we go to this private beach party, and before we get there, he says, oh, by the way, two of these guys are, I don't know how you guys feel about Filipino politics, but two of these guys are the president's sons. So don't talk shit about the Filipino president. And I was like, well, we weren't going to do that anyway.
Imagine
We
the
don't
only
really
thing you
anything
know
it.
about Filipino politics is Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, that's all we know. I thought he was your president. Like, oh, you're Manny Pacquiao's sons? No. But yeah, so we go there and we're hanging out with the Filipino president's kids. And it's just, they're super nice guys. They're just like skater guys. And Connor has to take a piss. And so he goes to this bush at the edge of the beach, and he's about to take a piss. And then one of the president's sons is like, wait, don't do that. Before you pee on a bush, you have to say tabi tabi po, tabi tabi po. And Connor's like, what? He's like, you have to say tabi tabi po, tabi tabi po. It means please move, please move. Because there's spirits called duende that live in the bush, and you have to tell them to move or you'll pee on them. They'll attack your dick and make it super swollen. And he's like, says this gravely serious. Like, he's like, do not do it. You will get attacked by these
It'll
duende.
make your dick too
And
big.
so Connor goes, oh, yeah. I was like, I mean, I could go for a swollen dick right now. I'm probably smaller than you guys, and you're Filipino. But
No
but,
gas station, dick pills. I'll just take the
Take a
ghost up my
duende,
dick.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Wait, we
so
should make gas station dick pills called Duende.
yeah, so he says it, and he pees, and he's good. Couple nights later, I'm walking back from a bar. I got to piss.
He forgot this warning.
I find a bush. All the bars are closed, so I find a bush. I'm peeing. Midstream, I realize, oh shit, I forgot to say tabi tabi po. And what happens when I get back from the Philippines?
Did you at least do it halfway through?
My fucking kidney is swollen, dude. It's all part of the urinary tract. The duende attacked my fucking dick, dude.
Yeah.
and
So
gave me
long
an
story
inflamed
short, you had to have an exorcism for your penis.
Yeah, dude. I didn't need surgery. I need an exorcist.
Well, I mean,
Penis exorcist.
find the right priest.
That's most priests.
That's
do it.
priests. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
well,
usually start with the dick, right?
Shave. But
Yeah.
otherwise.
So they can pretend it's a little boy's
yeah,
penis.
smooth.
Yeah. Shave everywhere.
That's all I'd have to do for it to look
just
like a
take
little
a
boy's
quick,
penis.
just fill like a bathtub up with Nair and roll around in it for a minute.
Yeah, that'd be
you're
good.
good to go. But yeah, so we're talking about the Bell Witch today. If you believe Bush's Duende story, which I do, because I like to believe in the supernatural, then you'll like this. The Bell Witch is actually the woman/ghost that the Blair Witch Project is based on. So this is the film Blair Witch Project. The Blair Witch is based on the Bell Witch.
Blair Witch Project is the UCF Film School's, I guess,
Crowning achievement.
Yeah, their crown jewel.
Yeah. They took a fucking camcorder into the forest.
Mm-hmm. And I also believe maybe some of those kids went to Interboro High School, which was our
Oh,
rival high school
Philly kids.
for Ridley. Yeah.
Okay. It is set in Appalachia, and the Bell Witch is from Appalachia, though she's from Tennessee, Robertson County, Tennessee, to be specific, not wherever the fuck in Pennsylvania the Blair Witch Project was set. But the haunting began sometime in 1817 when John Bell, who had a farm, just gotten like a farmland in the area, he was surveying his fields, and he witnessed the appearance of a strange creature that looked like a dog, had a dog's body, but a rabbit's head. So this thing is just standing in his field in the middle of Appalachia. And Bell, of course, picks up his musket and is like, fuck that thing, and shoots at it. But it disappears. So already not a great sign that your property's good.
Mm-hmm.
Bad from the get-go.
Time to move.
Just wildlife.
You don't know. Honestly, you're new enough to the country that you're like, I don't know, man. Maybe there's rabbit dogs. I don't know. I'm not fucking.
Right. You get
I'm not a fucking
farmland
scientist. I don't even know what that word means.
property in Germany right now. If some weird creature came about, I don't know, like a hawk rhino.
Yeah.
Like I guess that's just Germany.
Now, what is a hawk rhino?
That would have to be some big wings.
Is that a
would be-
rhino with the head and wings of a hawk?
Well, it's the Rhine land, right?
Yes.
So I'm thinking a body of a rhino and the wings and head of a hawk.
Well, unicorns sometimes have wings, and the way unicorns came about was because they incorrectly described rhinos for the first time. That people would go to Africa, explore it, come back to Europe, and be like, we saw it was like a four-legged creature with horns, with a horn. And they're like, oh, so they recreated it as a unicorn, but because they didn't know any other four-legged creature that would look like a rhino.
Yeah. Now, granted, Rhine, two different languages.
Why'd you have to ruin it?
I don't know. Just thought I'd
Why are you the way you are?
throw that out there.
Everything about you.
Yeah. All right.
This is why you give off like 5'7" energy.
Because
You actually.
actually,
It's two different languages.
Rhinoceros comes from Greek, and Rhine is from the Old German, which means to flow.
Fucking nerd.
That which is true. That's what happened. Anyway, so the haunting begins with that. Soon after, John's son, Drew, sees a bird perched on a fence on the family farm, and this bird is fucking humongous. To the point where he's like, that can't even be a vulture. That's the biggest fucking thing I've ever seen. Like, there's just an ostrich or some shit.
It's a pterodactyl.
Perched, maybe, honestly. And Drew is just like, I'm going to leave. I'm going to just walk away.
I mean, there are like pterodactyl sightings up to, I believe, the 30s. Allegedly.
And what do you think those were?
Big bird.
Probably
Just a freak bat.
Condor.
hallucinating cowboys out in the canyons.
It would be funny if there was just
High on mescaline.
The Grand Canyon just had a pterodactyl.
Yeah, why not?
Dude, I could get down with that.
I'm down with any. It's October, dude. I'm down.
No, he fell.
What?
He fell down the canyon. Oh no, we never found his body, but
Yeah.
no, he got swooped up.
Fucking pterodactyl ate that bitch. Bell's daughter Betsy observed a girl in a green dress who was swinging from the limb of an oak tree on the property.
Sexy.
And Dean,
That's kind of kinky, right?
not really. Betsy was really young and the girl was really young.
Oh.
So I don't know. Is an 8-year-old
Well, you
girl
just-
playing in a tree kinky?
You
to
didn't describe the age. You described a green
I said
dress.
girl. I said girl.
A girl could be a 24-year-old.
And I said Betsy, his daughter.
Also, he could be 50.
Okay, well, this 8-year-old girl playing in a tree, which Dan thinks may or may not be hot.
Details matter.
Yes, she saw that. And then Dean.
Sorry you did a bad job describing stuff.
Sorry you got horny before you knew all the details. Like when I just say, oh, there was a woman in the room, there was a female in the room, your dick gets hard, and I'm like, a female baby, and you're like maybe it don't get hard until you know all the details.
I mean, when I was like 13, a woman walked into the room would, get my dick
That
hard.
would immediately, yeah, I get that.
Not at this age. You know, I'm probably pushing 3/4 of my potential. Gotta get that tee up.
Yeah, dude, my dick has never been as hard as it was when I was 14 years old.
Never will be.
Those
You're always
14-year-old
chasing.
boners are just powerful.
No.
Using all the performance enhancing drugs will never get you.
I would get cum on the ceiling when I was 14.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how. I can't snipe like that anymore.
Nowadays, yeah, just for you, it just oozes out.
That was just the first one. That was the first one post getting my organs cut open.
It's like magma coming out of a volcano.
Exactly.
You didn't pee.
And not like a Mount St. Helens, like a slow.
No,
drip.
it's like a slow Hawaii volcano.
I mean, what a gamut you ran from an ancient creature. You peed on an ancient creature, and it jumped up your dick. So a robot operated by Dr. Mystery had to operate on you. Like that is every sci-fi movie rolled into a week.
Dude, that shit popped off. Like the pain in the kidney started while I was still in the Philippines. And you do not want to have a medical emergency in Siargao because it's basically a third world country.
Really?
Dude, like they were.
Some third world countries have decent medical.
This place did not. And dude, they were just like, okay, your bladder area is very full. So they're like, we need to. This like big Filipino woman's like, we need to put catheter in you. This is, as I said, This is the first time I got the catheter in the past month, and I'm like, oh geez, it was like, is there anything else we could do before this?
Right.
And she's like, well, I mean, I'll just say that you could just sign this, say you refuse the catheter. I was like, fuck, it sounds like I really need this. Okay, let's do it. And it wasn't the bladder that was backed up; it was the kidney. So they get in there. I get in this room, dude. This hospital is a dirt floor. There is a stray dog in the corner licking itself while my dick is out, and they take out the catheter. There is a spider 8 inches from my face, and this large Filipino woman is shoving a catheter into my dick. She's shoving it in there, and I'm just like praying to God, and then she starts pulling it out. She pulls it out. And then she starts shoving it in again. She takes it out and puts it back in. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you fucking me with this catheter?
Sounded at that point.
She puts it back in, and then she takes it back out. I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, I cannot reach the bladder. It is too swollen. And I was like, okay, third time is not the charm. Is there anyone else that can do this maybe? And she looks at me like she's going to fucking kill me. She is so offended that I asked for someone else. And I'm like, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm just like really scared right now. There's a spider next to my face. This doesn't feel sanitary. And then she's like, okay, it's too swollen for us to get the catheter in there. We're going to give you pills that will help you pee. And I'm like, I asked for another option before you did this. But either way, none of it worked because I had fucking kidney issues. So they just gave me enough pain pills that I could get back to Manila, see a real doctor. And then they gave me antibiotics, thought it was better. Wasn't, had to get surgery. That's the whole story.
You got surgery in America, though, right?
Yes, I got surgery in America on Tuesday.
I can't believe you fucking flew. I feel like that could be a pressure situation.
Yeah, I mean, because like I thought I was done. I thought it was just an infection that I got from God knows what. But the infection came back when I got to America. That's when I went to the urologist because the infection cleared up just with antibiotics in Manila. But then I flew back to America thinking I was fine. But then the infection came back, same pain. Went to the doctor here. They were like, "Oh yeah, dude, you have a ureter being constricted."
You're bringing that back from a foreign country. Do you have to check that condition at customs?
No, dude. They were checking me for it last year actually, but they were like, "Oh, your bladder or your kidney's still draining well enough that we don't need to operate yet."
The duende is what?
The duende really put the pressure on.
Put it over the edge.
Put it over the edge, yeah.
Right. But on the form, did you put evil spirit in my dick?
I did, and
because you're not allowed to bring plants, you're not allowed to bring food.
I was carrying a duende inside of my urinary tract. They didn't. That's a good way to get shit through. If you want to sneak shit through
bit
customs,
of a human trafficking situation, to be honest.
Honestly,
you're a coyote for an evil spirit.
Yeah, you can shove stuff up your ass. That's one way, but it's even safer if you shove it up your dick
right
hole.
Up your pee hole.
Yeah.
So another, I don't know if I'd call this person a member of the Bell family, but Dean, their slave, reported seeing a large black dog on evenings that he visited his wife. And again, at this point, you've got to be like, I bought the wrong fucking piece of land. Eventually, this supernatural activity entered the Bell household. They would hear knocking along the doors and walls of their home. The family also heard the sounds of like gnawing on their beds, like someone just chewing the bedpost or some shit like that.
bad dog.
They would hear invisible dogs fighting. and they would hear chains dragging along the floors. It was about this time also.
Honestly, a ghost dog's not the worst thing.
I disagree.
Just gotta train that guy
What kind of dog?
or that gal.
What kind of dog?
It could be a Rottweiler. I don't care.
Having a ghost dog would be sick.
Ghost dog's probably the best thing you could have.
I think that's inaccurate. I think a ghost dog is going to fuck you up.
What dogs are naturally friendly though?
Yeah.
Not a ghost dog.
You don't know that.
A hellhound? This is we're talking hellhounds here.
Okay, bad
All
dogs.
right, we're not talking all dogs go to heaven. This dog was kept out of heaven.
Yeah, it's got to be a really bad dog to not get into heaven.
Yeah, but if you're running like a junkyard, hellhound sounds like a hell of an investment.
That's fine, but that dog's not going to heaven.
He's just kind of lurking the land.
But I'm saying an alive junkyard dog, that dog knows what it's done.
Why do they have guard dogs protecting the junkyard? Like, why not let other people? The landfills are overflowing. Why not let people get the junk if they want it?
Because it's usually sold for parts.
Yeah, it's the
Oh,
junkyard.
Junkyard
this
is
my
not
junk to
It's
sell.
well, it's not a
It's
landfill.
They buy junkers. They buy like shitty cars that are
Yeah,
useless.
and they just sell
They
pieces.
sell parts.
Okay, I'm thinking.
And you
just
keep
like
the
a
dogs
trash
in there
heap.
because you don't want to pay security, and you just hope that your Rottweiler people will be like,
And if a pit bull attacks a homeless man, it's not
no
really
one cares. And also
an
like
issue.
you don't, and you really don't care if that pit bull gets shot in the face either. It's not really a problem. You just throw the pit bull into a corner of the junkyard and get a new pit bull, and then you abuse that pit bull for a little bit
Until
and
it's
then
angry.
It's replaced. That training is much cheaper than training or paying a security guard. All of that is cheaper than a security guard.
Absolutely.
But now you have an eternal hellhound.
Yeah, once it dies on the property. About this time, John Bell also began experiencing paralysis in his mouth. All the haunted, ghostly shit that was happening kept growing in intensity to the point where the witch, ghost witch, whatever, was ripping the sheets off of beds as the children slept. Soon the quote-unquote entity would pull hair and scratch the children of the Bell family, with particular emphasis on Betsy, who was slapped and pinched, and somehow like the ghost would just pick up pins and fucking stab her with it.
I bet her sister was fucking with her. It was a ghost, Dad, not me.
Stop pinching me. Oh, you're so silly.
I didn't do it, Papa. A ghost did. I was praying.
And his dad.
And it's 1817, so the father is like, "You're a good daughter.
Thank you. For
There must be a ghost in here. I saw a rabbit dog."
Dad, you've been drinking a lot.
Well, we'll get to that. Kind of. Finally, the Bell family. This is why it's called the Bell Witch, because this witch haunted the Bells. The Bell family was like, all right, we got this. We got to figure out if we're fucking crazy or not. This can't. Like, we need to figure out if we're just, like, going bananas, so we have to bring someone else in. Which I actually respect, because if you recall, the Salem witch trials were largely fueled by, partly fueled by ergot.
It was all ergot, yeah.
Yeah, so, or you know what ergot is?
It's a mold,
it's
right?
that mold in
On the
there.
corn, that's basically LSD.
It made him trip nuts.
Trip
yeah.
fucking balls, yeah. So they were like, we got to figure out if we're fucking crazy or not. By the way, crazy thing here, you're like, 1817, okay, America sound or whatever. The Salem witch trials were as long ago from this instance as we are from the turn of the century, from the 1800s to the 1900s.
Damn.
So it wasn't that long ago. Not that there would be, someone crushed to death by stones because they're a witch at this point, but still.
That could still happen in, like, Congo.
Like what? Oh, in the Congo, yeah.
I mean, they literally do that in.
There's places in Africa where they'll get real, like.
They kill witches, like,
I think there's
2 years ago, yeah.
I think there's places in the Middle East that like stoning people to death is actually a way they kill people.
It
But I'm
is,
saying
but
there
that's
are
not- they don't
actual
do
witches in Africa
In Africa,
that they kill.
there's like weird things that'll happen sometimes in like not in. I don't want to say not in cities, but like just in areas that are not well educated. Where like there's one thing I read about where a rumor spread that bald men had gold inside of their skulls, and you can imagine how that went.
Prove
oh
them
my
wrong.
God.
Yeah, I mean, you got to check, right?
Kind of.
You got to confirm
Kinda
whether or
fool
not
those
it's
in check.
true.
And
How
then
else are you going to figure it out?
My favorite story was there's this one guy in Africa who a witch doctor told him he would become like a multi-millionaire if he wandered into the bush at night and let hyenas eat his penis.
Oh my God.
like off of his body, so the penis was still attached to his body.
What's the point of having $1 million if you got no dick?
I
guess if you're starving, you know.
I mean, this guy was clearly not wealthy, so he wandered off into the bush, and, like, basically put his dick in a hyena's mouth until the hyena was like, "Bah." And
it just starts like just furiously licking it and just giving him the best.
like, come
pleasure.
on,
He's like, bite it. Don't.
Yeah, I want to be a fucking millionaire.
Come.
I got
You
money
know
to
what?
make. Time is money, buddy.
Group of people actually have these like bad witches that they to this day fight off allegedly. Natives.
Native Americans.
Yeah. They I guess they're called skinwalkers.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I'm probably going to do an episode on them for the Patreon.
Okay.
So patreon.com/softcorehistory.
If you didn't hear the intro to this show.
That was a very organic plug. Well done.
Skinwalkers are sick. That's actually a very common thing on TikTok.
But I guess the white man kind of ruins the lore quite often. We get it wrong.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're not very good. So
I thought you were about
I'm
to
sure
say that-
TikTok has butchered what skinwalkers are.
I thought you were about to say
They're
that we
very
were-
bad. They're very evil.
I thought you were about to say that we were the skinwalkers.
No.
Because we're just like so pale, and then like a Spanish guy like a pale Spanish guy walks up and he's like, and the people are like, all the natives are just like, ah!
It's a fucking demon.
Ah!
But they're bad witches that fight off like mystic Indians, and they can turn into four-legged creatures. They can turn into wolves. They can turn into
Yeah, they can shapeshift,
Yeah.
essentially, yeah. Skinwalkers are, I look forward to that episode. So that's a sweet topic. So the Bells invite a family friend, James Johnson, and a local preacher over for help. Eventually, they're like, please stay here and let us know we're not fucking crazy. So after going to sleep for the evening in the Bell home, Johnson was awakened that night by the same shit. Same stuff happens to him. Sheets pulled, gnawing on the bedpost or whatever. Maybe he got stabbed with a needle. I don't know. But more or less all the same shit happened to him. And he says to John Bell in the morning, he says, that was a spirit, just like in the Bible. He's like, that is biblical fucking shit. 100%. You got something real here.
bar for bar, word for
You
word.
got real
Word
shit.
for word. You
going
got
on
real dog. Yeah.
here.
Bro.
Bruh.
Holy, he just comes out to breakfast in the morning. He's like, motherfucker.
Yo, dead ass. You got
No
spirits.
cap. No cap. Bitch ass ghost up in here. Witch ghost, I think. If I'm being real.
I think if these people came into modern times and saw how we talked,
Oh God, they're all retarded.
they would prefer to be in this house.
Yes, 100%. But I mean, if you look back on like letters at the time, like the Civil War, there was some comedian who did a bit.
I know there's like smut,
Adam Ferreira, I think was his name, something like that. He did a bit. I loved
but it was eloquent, right? Like you're describing your
always
wife's
like all
breast
the
in
Civil
her.
War. No, but even all the Civil War letters were just like, my dearest Clara, I've had a difficult time being away from you for so long. You know, my heart, blah blah blah. It's just like wonderful, beautiful letters.
Yeah.
And then like his bit was like in Desert Storm. It's like he's just like, dear Claire, it's fucking hot as shit here. My nutsack keeps sticking to my legs. Send more fucking Doritos. Like, it's just fucking, like we're just garbage people now.
Dude, my great grandfather fought in the Civil War, and he kept a journal.
I know. We got to do an episode on that.
We could do an episode on that if you guys want.
Oh yeah, well, I think we talked before. We need to for sure.
But he had some eloquent shit in there.
We'll just go through the entire diary.
Yeah, he's
Just
got
read it
some
aloud.
crazy shit. Some stuff that makes you think differently about the North, because he fought for the North. Some stuff that makes you think differently about the South. All of
Well, that's
it.
the thing. Great men used to keep journals, diaries.
Well, he knew he was doing something big, and he could write well. Because a lot of people couldn't write back then.
Yeah.
So the ones that could took a lot of pride in it. And
But
One of my favorite.
now we keep journals for like these self-help
It's
purposes.
so stupid. Yeah.
No, dude, just write down your day.
Just see what happened.
Just keep your own history.
One of my favorite things from the show Generation Kill was
love that show.
They found one of the dude's journals because he was like keeping track of
Yeah.
everything, and it was just like they're just like making fun of him for how gay it was. Essentially, like he was just one of the quotes was almost exactly like he was like, "I know my warrior spirit will overcome." They were like, "What the fuck, dude?" Like it was just like finding your frat bros. journal, basically. You're
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is this, you douchebag? You fucking loser. Like,
Yeah.
you pompous asshole. But anyway, so they experience this, and all three men, Bell, Johnson, and the preacher, are like, we can't tell anyone about this because A, we don't want it to seem like you are doing devil shit when you're not, and B, like this could get wild, whatever. So we will not say a fucking word to anybody. But someone snitches because all of a sudden throngs of people start showing up being like, yo, I heard there's a ghost here. I heard there's a ghost witch. Can we see the ghost witch? I want to see a ghost witch.
It's an attraction.
Yeah.
I mean, think of all the Ripley's, believe it or not, that you've come across in your life. You always want to make a stop.
So basically, this guy, he's like, I have a great idea to make us all a shit ton of money. I'm going to say that there's a ghost in my house. You come over and corroborate it for me.
Yeah.
We both set up
And
a
you're-
stall, charge a nickel to come in and check out the ghost house.
Yeah, dude.
We're going to be swimming in
Satanic
it.
tourism.
And
Let's
you're
go.
a preacher, so people will believe you.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, it's the devil.
It's the other,
I saw it was the devil.
it's the other side of the coin where it's like, oh, that stain looks like the Virgin Mary.
Like there's
No, we got a devil
there-
ghost.
he's like, there's going to be suckers talking about this house 200 years from now.
Yeah. In ways we can't even imagine. Just idiots getting paid by other idiots.
saw himself a payday.
Here will come a payday. Hallelujah.
So people traveled far and wide to come to the Bell House to experience. this-
Imagine dying on the way to the house.
I know, right? Which
I'm
has
sure some
definitely
people
happened.
did. And now there's more ghosts. Now it's more haunted.
There's a ghost trail.
The whole
an extra
trail
nickel.
is haunted. Yeah.
Extra nickel.
So
It's actually how they came up with the idea for corn mazes.
So people would die in there.
People
and
would
get
die
haunted.
on the way.
then it's finally no corn maze is haunted at first, but every corn maze is eventually haunted.
So was that one dumbass kid
Yeah.
that's lost in there
You ever get stuck?
in a maze?
You ever have an incident in a corn maze as a child?
No.
I never did because you could just walk through the corn.
Man, they
Yeah, you're right.
Just
Yeah.
leave.
Go in one
Yeah.
direction.
remember which way you came in,
Yeah, but that's the whole point is you can't remember the direction you came in. That's
but that's on you.
well, that's how mazes.
Someone didn't make it past Cub Scouts.
I did, dude. I got all
It
the
was
way to
me.
Boy
I didn't
Scouts.
make it
bro.
past Cub Scouts.
Did you get up to Life Scout?
No, I never got that high. I did it till 8th grade, and then I was like, I'm done with this.
Did you have any questionable
How close were you to
scout leaders?
I didn't come even close to
Okay.
Eagle. No, I got like first class, maybe
Okay.
second class.
Any leader that might have been a little sketchy?
No, they were all cool.
Or did you repress that memory?
No repressed memories.
What
I mean, I
you're
did
such
get
a
my-
hater on the Boy Scouts. Like, first off, you were an altar boy,
Yeah.
so calm down. We were both altar boys.
I was also a Cub Scout.
Yeah, Cub Scout, but you weren't a Boy Scout.
No, because I lost the Pine One Derby.
Yeah, you're.
I
a
did. I
bitch,
did
dude.
get my "Don't Tell Mom and Dad" merit badge. That was kind of
Yes,
sus, but
I had. I had all of my kissing merit badges: closed mouth, open mouth, tongue,
Yeah.
upside down kissing.
the Spider-Man kissing merit.
Yeah.
badge.
Well, it was they would hold you upside down, and so like your leg, and you would kiss whatever part of them
Yeah.
that your head as they were holding you by your ankles.
And then also every
Okay.
time I tried
It
to
was
start,
always the penis, but
I tried to start a fire, right? With the stick, I always had to have my eyes closed.
And then it would always, it would get wet for some reason.
Yeah,
And-
never
and
really
it never started a
sparked
fire.
the fire. It was just
But the Scoutmaster seemed really excited. Like I did start a fire, but I
he
didn't.
said I did a good job.
he's always like, it's so hot, it's so hot, but then you open your eyes and there's no fire, and it's
And
confusing.
everyone else got like kind of splinters from the wood. I never splinter in my hand.
It
not
just the
once.
sticky. It was just sticky on your
Just
hand.
sap,
Some
just
sap,
sap,
yeah.
just sap.
Yeah, sap. That's definitely what it was.
We've made a lot of cum jokes today. It's a cum heavy episode.
Dude, the people,
This is a
the
Boy
people,
Scout.
the people love
What are you
cum
talking
jokes.
about? Yeah.
One of the most successful podcasts is called Cum Town.
Also true. Isn't that like kind of about history too? I wouldn't know. I don't listen
No,
to
they
podcasts.
don't-
Don't
they
even like podcasts.
He's actually ashamed we do this every day.
A little. So, ironically, the more people showed up to see the witch ghost, the stronger the witch ghost got, and the more attention it was paid, the louder and stronger it became. At this point, the witch ghost, the Bell Witch, began just actually beating the shit out of the Bell children and also like tripping adults and stuff like that, like making them fall down and stuff. At times, or as it happened, its voice got clearer. At times, it would be low and melodic, like, hello, I'm a witch. And other times, it would be like, get out of the house! It would just be shrill and so just a fucking weirdo.
Like a normal woman, am I right, guys?
Kind of, though.
It's that time of the month. Which ghosts have a period?
Mm-hmm. You know who never has a period? Scoutmaster Bill.
Yeah, but he was bipolar.
Oh, yeah.
He got angry a lot.
Threatened to kill me. If you tell anyone, no one will find you in this forest.
Also, I gotta give women credit, man. A third of their fucking lives, they gotta deal with that shit.
What, a
Yep.
period?
Yeah, periods last like a fucking week.
It's like 7 to 10 days. Where it just
I feel like it's
fucks with their hormones.
more than a third.
Right? It's not
It's not half, but I'd call it a solid 40%.
I want to give them credit because imagine if we were just like our testosterone just spiked high. Like you just wanted to fight every single person that you came across.
That happens to me every time I eat steak.
It
Like
does
testosterone
happen.
just
You're
shoots
just
through the roof.
describing a 16-year-old. You just have a constant erection. You want to get in fights and shit.
I was not like that.
You weren't.
I was a peaceful soul.
A lot of people were. I wasn't either. I mean, well, no, constant erection, yes, but there were. I had so many friends that were just like pure id, like just pure like fight or fuck, to the point where you're just like, will you just watch Family Guy with
All right,
me?
but now imagine if that
why do you-
testosterone made you just in pain at all times. Like
Yeah, you're
I
so
think those
horny.
people weren't paying to be quite.
they might have been, yeah. It might be true. Might be onto something.
Emotionally,
Didn't seem fun.
they were very much in emotional pain.
Yeah,
But yeah.
yeah, I get that.
No, dude, that shit doesn't subside until you're like 25 and your frontal lobe develops.
Yeah, but those people are always just like talking shit, trying to get in fights, and then like, oh, Dan, go ahead. They
make
like
they
sick
make you
me on
finish
'em.
it.
Yeah,
Damn.
like I'm a Pokemon.
That's not a bad reputation to have, though. The enforcer of the group.
There's always the smallest guys that talk the loudest junk.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Napoleon
100%.
complex. Even though Napoleon wasn't that short for the time period, he
The
lived in.
skinniest dudes, I mean.
He's like, whatever, bro. Yeah, I gotta get my fucking buddies here. We'll fuck you up.
All right, Dan, do it.
Yeah, Dan, get him. Did you?
Sometimes.
You
Like,
can't do
all
that.
right.
It's like feeding a.
I know.
It's like feeding a stray dog.
I know. They keep coming back.
Yeah. So the apparition, the ghost, the witch, the Bell Witch began to speak out loud. They would ask it, "Who are you? What do you want?" And the voice would answer, "I am a spirit. I was once very happy, but have been disturbed." However, believe it or not, this
What
witch-
ruins a ghost day?
What?
Like, they were cool as a ghost, and then they got disturbed?
Yeah, so the ghost has an explanation for what happened. The witch, the Bell Witch. At one point, it claimed that it was an Indian, and it was at peace, resting, and the bells disturbed its burial place.
Mm.
And then it was all mucked up after that. It was like, "Rrr." But it was a woman's voice, so maybe it was a woman. But at another time, the witch claimed it was doing the bidding of a neighbor on a neighboring farm named Kate Batts. And this story, people believed so much that the Bell Witch was often referred to as Kate. They would call it Kate, even though it was saying it never said it was Kate. It just said I work for Kate, and they would just call it Kate.
Okay.
And it would be, and it for shits and gigs would respond to Kate. They'd be like, "Hey, Kate," and I'm like, "Yes, hello."
That's such like a friendly name to give like a evil witch.
Right, Kate.
Like Becca.
Have you also seen the new thing with natives at this moment? Where they're saying they kind of like sprouted from the land and didn't cross the land bridge? They're claiming not to be Homo sapiens.
They sprouted from
Ooh.
the land like fucking orcs. Just
I
like,
guess, yeah.
Which name? Who's saying that? What TikTok
This-
influencers?
Yeah,
doing it?
TikTok or Twitter.
That's
It's just
TikTok.
natives claiming to be like, we have our own creation story. We don't kind of go with the white man's tale.
That's fine. That's
I mean, that literally goes
Great.
against everything
Great.
science has taught us. But
great. Whatever you want to believe is fine. You're wrong. You could be wrong.
Yeah.
Very right to be wrong. Because you live
we
in America.
all started in Africa and we walked across the land bridge.
Not even Africa. One specific part.
Yeah.
One teensy little part of East Africa.
And then, well, there were the Mongoloids, right? Were separate. Not the Mongoloids. Where
The
white people were
Mongoloids.
what were the white people were called? The Cro-Magnons, right? Yeah, Cro-Magnons.
No idea.
I think the
I think
Cro.
all Homo sapiens are.
But
have a
all
common
humans were
ancestor.
black, and then in Europe they met a slightly different species of human.
Well,
called, like, the
Neanderthals.
Neanderthal, that's what I'm looking for. Not Cro-Magnon, Neanderthal. And then Neanderthals
were small, squatty people.
Yeah, they were small, squatty people.
And we,
And
the
then the
Slender
humans
Man,
fucked them out of
really-
existence, and
Well,
killed
no, we
them
killed
all,
them.
but then
We
fucked
have
them.
a
But that's
little-
how humans became white, is because they fucked the
No, it's
Neanderthals.
not. It's not. That's not how we became white. We just became. That's just evolution.
But the Neanderthals were already white, and then when the
But that was
Neanderthals fucked the
that
black
was-
humans, that made mixed babies, and then they got whiter and whiter.
No,
no,
that's
it's
not how
an
that
evolutionary thing where, like,
happens.
if you
This
go
is
to a
sunlight and-
cloudier spot, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm sure the Neanderthal,
Nordic
injection of
countries-
the Neanderthal
the-
blood sped it up, though.
maybe we don't have that much Neanderthal in us. It's mostly just that the black skin was not
Well, like pretty much
absorbing
every.
vitamin D or something like that.
yeah,
the way it
they're like
needed.
vitamin D deficient or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, like most white people have like
Or white people
1% Neanderthal somewhere in them.
Yeah,
So
but that's not that much,
yeah, I know.
especially considering they only died out like 30,000.
Considering I'm like 1% Arabic, I don't look Arabic at all.
It's in your eyes.
Little bit
Yeah, you have untrustworthy eyes,
I do have a lot of body hair.
but you're Italian.
Yeah, that's probably where that's from.
Oh, that's why you're
Italian-
No, that's
Yeah,
why you're
yeah.
Arabic, because you're fucking Sicilian.
Yeah.
Sicily was colonized by the Umayyad Caliphate.
Yeah, my
and-
last name, Buscemi, comes from Basema, comes from Buksema, comes from Abu Asema, which is Arabic for the man in the castle with the mole.
See, I thought Buscemi just meant man who tries to get one over at market.
That's what we're known for now, for sure.
Oh, I actually thought the name meant 9/11 Valor Thief. Because Steve Buscemi.
Hey, he was actually there, and
whatever,
I'm not related to him, by the way.
We
I'm
could-
unfamiliar that
look,
Steve
anyone
Buscemi
can-
stole 9/11 Valor.
Anyone can play with a hose on 9/11.
He was there. He was breathing in the toxins.
I thought it was just the dude from the league.
Nah, yeah. No,
Yeah, the
Steve Buscemi hooked up with his old ladder or whatever they call it, fire. But I don't.
Yeah, that guy.
I'm just shitting on Steve Buscemi.
What are
Yeah,
you
the guy
saying?
from the league pretended to have just barely missed a flight or whatever.
Could have been him.
He said he worked in the towers, which is super
Oh.
verifiable.
Yeah.
Something you probably shouldn't lie about.
Yeah, what a fucking clown.
I wouldn't.
I mean, people don't know this, but I was
wouldn't,
supposed
'cause
to be
I
in
was
the
there.
towers that day.
Yeah, as of someone who survived 9/11, I resent
Yeah.
Steve Renzani's.
Yeah, I survived it. I was in elementary school, but
I was in fifth
far away
grade.
from everything, but I survived.
I was in 5th grade. It could have been me. I
I'm
could have
just
been
saying,
in the
yeah,
towers.
we all survived 9/11.
We're all 9/11 survivors.
I mean, one of the planes crashed in Pennsylvania. It's my state, right? That could have been. That plane could have fallen anywhere. Could have fallen on the Our Lady of
Steal
Fatima.
Valor, he was closer to a plane crash than you were.
Yeah, I was 30 minutes away from D.C.
I don't think a plane hit the Pentagon.
Well, I survived a missile. All right.
A missile could have landed anywhere.
Exactly. It could have landed on Crossfield Elementary.
So Kate Batts, who the witch claimed she worked for, and everyone just started calling the witch Kate. Kate Batts has a fun backstory. She was a neighbor of the Bells, and she was an outcast in the Red River community because she was poor and because she did lots of hard labor on her farm.
Poor in
A
Appalachia.
woman doing hard labor,
Yeah.
gotta be a witch.
Well, exactly. And sure, her husband was paralyzed, but that's no excuse.
But she probably made him paralyzed with her fucking spells.
Yeah, and her
Yeah,
husband was
witchcraft.
paralyzed. She essentially her husband got paralyzed in an accident, and she had to run the farm to keep the family alive.
No.
And everyone was like, This
Witch.
poor bitch, I don't trust her at all.
And she got more bitter and bitter with each passing
Yeah,
day.
they're like, fuck
Oh my
her.
God, what a time to be alive.
So
Crippled her husband.
she
and
also allegedly,
doing manual
Single moms
labor.
just get spat on.
yeah, I guess she allegedly had a habit of trying to like impress people. She would try to light up a room, any room she walked into, and people were just like, oh God, it's Kate.
Shut up. Look at her
Why
calloused
won't,
hands.
why won't she die? Why isn't this the one woman who lights up every room she walks into who won't fucking die? So Kate, though, was like, no, I'm not employing a ghost to fuck with anyone. Leave me alone unless you're going to laugh at my jokes and let me dance in the pub or something. Like, I'm not doing witch stuff. And people were like,
Don't believe you.
She tried to be agreeable, and they're like, no.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Was she an ugly lady?
feel like an-
Pre-photograph, so I don't know.
I feel like in 1817, everyone was ugly.
No, but
Well, yes.
this has all the makings of somebody that's probably not attractive.
Anyone, this is going to sound gross, but I don't care. Anyone older, like, I guess I'll raise it up to like 19, but like I would say anyone like over 17 probably gets really gross really fast. Like once the just like softness of childhood, like the teenage years, like totally wears off unless you have acne or something. Once you get into like straight adulthood, foul.
Rob didn't even
Half
have
your
to
teeth are rotted out.
get set up for that. He said that on his own merit.
I'm just fucking saying, dude. Because
So when they're
He
teens,
said-
they're
he
still
said
fuckable.
They're
is what
too
you're
old
saying.
for him after 17.
first off, look, you go back and look at teenagers in a yearbook in the 50s, they look a lot more adult than now. I can't imagine how a teenager in the 1817, I should say, looked. I'm just saying, my God, adults mostly had to be gross. Like, gross. Very quickly.
Yeah.
We're going to sit in that?
Yep.
Okay, fair enough. I'm just saying. I'm not saying I'm going to marry I'm not saying if I went back in time, I would marry a 14-year-old in 1817 without the right dowry. But
Right. The Virgin Mary was 12.
yeah, God, if it's good enough for God, who am I? I'm just Rob. He's God. I'm Rob.
Does the
Still
Bible
3
say
letters.
that the Virgin Mary was 12?
Yeah, Mary was
What
12.
a fucked up detail. put in there.
Does the Bible say the Virgin Mary was 12? Does the Bible say how old Mary was?
Well, at least that's what I...
No, the Bible does not specify.
Well,
However,
they told us that in school.
Christian historians typically estimate she was between 15 and 16 years old.
That's way better. Why did my school tell me 12?
A young woman could become
We're
betrothed.
trying to normalize that
12,
shit.
12 was the minimum age for marriage.
Okay. And Joseph was
Yeah, I
much
think
older.
your teachers were just like, yeah, 12.
You can get legally married at the age of 15 in Hawaii and in Wyoming, I think, or Idaho, one of those.
Both of those states make sense. All three of those states make sense.
Yeah.
Hawaii is... People...
There's a lot of kids missing
The
in
thing
Hawaii.
about Hawaii that people don't realize is that because it's so beautiful and exotic, people forget that it's just a bunch of small town, isolated as fuck communities.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just very pretty, and it gets lots of visitors. So people are like, it must be totally normal here.
It's like the worst education system in the U.S.
Boy.
Worse than Mississippi?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
South Carolina's also up there.
South Carolina's pretty bad, dude. Half that I went to college there, and half the school, because they had a rule at USC, half the school had to accept people from the state of South Carolina. So you had a lot of kids that had no business going to college, going there. All great people, but just on another different level of education.
Hawaii, at least according to this random ranking I found, actually doesn't do that bad. The worst one, unsurprisingly, is New Mexico.
That also makes sense.
That tracks. Hawaii's like upper tier, actually.
Yeah, any place with a reservation's probably not going to do so hot.
Or Hawaii's like right in the middle, essentially.
Probably Oklahoma's probably down there.
Let me find another
It's
one.
fine. It's fine. Let's move on.
Let me just find like 5 more lists.
Let's just move on.
Yeah. So anyway, the spirit started having full conversations. It also, at one point, just to fuck with people, repeated word for word 2 different sermons that were given 13 miles apart at the exact same time. The Bell Witch was very into religion, so much so that it would often directly and accurately, like to the word, quote biblical text, and appeared to enjoy getting in religious arguments with people. So people would show up and be like, all right, witch, are you from Satan? Blah, 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 and quote some dumb Bible verse, and the witch would just be like, like Bible verses back, and be like, the God's a pussy, and like all this shit. And just like,
She's just like a betrayed nun.
no, it was a native, I think it was an Indian that was dead, knew the afterlife, and was like, this is the real story with God. And, you know, some idiot Methodist or Baptist is like, oh, no, it's this. You know, she was just like, I'm fucking here, dude. I'm on the other side.
I'm not fully buying this.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
hang with me.
You don't believe that they were actually haunted?
No, I just don't think
Because I don't either.
full-blown debates with a ghost.
No, the ghost, it was happening.
Did they charge money for these people?
I
to visit
never
them?
saw if they charged money or not. And
Oh.
actually, it seems like they didn't, based on a detail we're going to get to.
Okay.
Another amusement.
Maybe some like shadow puppets.
That would be witchcraft at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Make a
they-
shadow
they
puppet.
Would, they would hang you for
There's
that.
a dog on the wall. Yeah, you're getting your throat slit like immediately. Like it's not even. There's no time for hanging.
Like he
The,
just
the judge jury trial is you saw someone make a dog,
With
a
their
black dog on
hands.
the wall. It just bleh.
that man
Kill him now.
just removed his thumb from his body.
Yeah, this what is that?
How do you do it again? I
I
can't
don't
remember how to
fucking
do
know.
it.
I don't care. I gotta
Da
freak,
da 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 da.
I gotta freak my kid out with that later.
Yeah. you
So
do that.
as another
Witchcraft.
form of entertainment for itself, the witch would people would visit, and the witch would just like tell them the family's dirty laundry. Would just be like, I saw John tugging on his wiener in the outhouse. I watched him do it. Just whatever. I don't know. I assume it was that. Or like, did you know that Betsy threw her vegetables in the fireplace, and like John masturbated again out back. John won't stop, and Betsy didn't eat her vegetables, and John jerks off everywhere. But yeah, it was she would just fuck with people all the time. And it was a disembodied voice. It was not like a witch sat down at the table and was like, "What do you want to know?" It was a disembodied voice. So people were like, "All right, is this disembodied voice legit?" Not everyone was so sure. In 1820, a military officer whose last name was also Bell was in the area, and he stayed.
Oh, this is the invention of the telephone.
What?
The Bell family.
Oh yeah. Alexander Graham.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, they had a fucking speaker wired into the house. That's how they got the disembodied
This
voice.
is Alexander Graham Bell. This was actually his kind of prequel to the telephone.
Okay, well, he was
Genius.
born in Scotland and died in Canada.
It makes
off.
sense.
And did he
Maybe
live
about-
in America, Ian?
He definitely made the
you guys
the
keep talking.
telephone.
I gotta take a quick pee break. I
In
got
America?
I got a stint in my ureter.
You're
Makes-
good,
I'm
dude.
unable
I don't want to like
piss
hold
that
you
well.
Yeah, go.
up
Just
with
go.
your kidney.
You got a fucking demon in your wiener. Just
Get it outta here.
Just go.
Don't want to
Keep-
get it.
Get it out of here, dude.
All right. So this military officer, John Bell, is in the area, and he recorded he was keeping a diary, as everyone I guess did at the time, and he recorded a conversation he had staying at a different house, but like it was just the talk of the town at the time, right? They was just like, oh, there's a ghost witch at the Bell house up at your name's Bell, right? So he wrote this little paragraph here, but found it interesting. Bell wrote, "Rather a singular circumstance was here related to me of a young girl of about 15 years of age, residing but 3 miles from Murphy. A voice accompanies her, which says she should marry a man, a neighbor. Thousands of persons have visited her to hear this voice. In many instances, it will reply to questions put to it. The visitors have left as little satisfied in their curiosity as before they heard it. Many are under the impression that it is ventriloquism imposed upon the hearers either by the girl or her brother, who it seems is generally in her company. Her family is respectable.
The kids?
So,
The kids are just doing ventriloquist shit?
and I guess fucking each other up. Because these kids were getting the shit kicked out of them.
Yeah.
And adults were getting tripped and all this stuff. But it was still a rumor at the time. This was a diary from 1820. It was a rumor at the time that they were like ventriloquent. It was a ventriloquist situation. So someone would walk in and be like, "Oh, Betsy, the witch follows you around. What does the witch think about Jesus?" And Betsy would be like, "Jesus is a bitch. Fuck Jesus."
So it's as if the kids are possessed and they're speaking for the witch?
No.
Or they're just doing
They're
it
faking
out
it.
of the
They're
side of their mouth, and these fucking people can't tell that they're doing it.
Yes.
Yeah. I could take over the world with maybe like 10 people back then. You give me 10 good men, I'm president of the world. I'm
10
king of
good
the-
ventriloquists.
Yeah.
The world is in the palm
You
of your
and
hand.
Jeff Dunham.
Dude, Dunham and all of his puppets, we got this.
So, in the Saturday Evening Post in 1856, 36 years after the situation, ventriloquism was levied again, that accusation. The author claimed that Joshua Gardner, that they were friends with Joshua Gardner, who is a character in this story. When the witch was asked how long it would remain, the Bell Witch replied, "Until Joshua Gardner and Betsy Bell get married." Betsy Bell being the girl who may or may not have been accused of ventriloquism.
Which is worse than casting spells.
Yeah. The author goes on to state that Betsy Bell was in love with Joshua Gardner and had learned ventriloquism. Now, how a girl in 1817, Appalachia, Tennessee, became a ventriloquist is a fucking mystery to me. In fact, a witch seems more likely.
Came across a book.
What book?
Dark Arts. Because nobody wants a ventriloquist. It's the worst form of comedy.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. It's bad. It's just bad comedy. However, the author of the definitive book...
Although you do look like a ventriloquist doll.
Do we got to really bring this up?
The one from Goosebumps.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit gave me nightmares.
Was
Now it's coming back.
That was a TFM comment. That Dan
You
knew.
do, though.
It was probably Dan pretending to be.
Do you know the
I did have a burner that I would just troll Rob with.
do you know the dummy's name? Because I do, because I watched the Goosebumps movie 2 nights ago.
It's Robbie, right?
No,
Oh,
it's Slappy.
Slappy. Oh, dude, that doll.
Maybe
fucking
we do an
terrified me
entire
as a kid, dude.
episode where I'm behind you with my hand.
And I'm just like, yeah. Gotta watch the YouTube for that. YouTube.com/softcore history. So the author of the definitive book about the Bell Witch
Here, let me try it.
wrote in his book. No, that work. You gotta put your
Here,
hand.
I'll do the voice. You do the hand.
You gotta put your hand in my pants. Be a pro.
Get under there.
No, right, all the way in, just right up my ass. Dude, that was
Down
Jimmy.
goes Jimmy.
Fuck. If he dies tonight, I swear to God.
Oh, no. Yeah, I broke the frame.
Oh, we're just giving up on the bit now.
If
'Cause
he
you broke
dies
the frame?
tonight, Dan wouldn't put his hand up my asshole.
Because I broke the frame.
Not nearly far enough. Anyway,
Damn
the
it.
author of the definitive book about the Bell Witch wrote that the ventriloquist charges were total bullshit, and he had like proof of it too. So, oh man, this whole thing is broken.
Yeah.
You guys like Jimmy, huh?
I want to bet that Jimmy would
kind
live to
of.
100.
He was the last guy to tax the rich.
Yeah, but he lived to be 100. That was the whole thing.
He also.
But yeah, if he dies, this is kind of on us.
it is 100% on us. He
'Cause-
also deregulated beer.
Yeah, so you're
The
welcome.
micro
yeah.
brewing is because of Jimmy.
Fuck yeah, Jimmy. That's pretty baller.
Damn. We're going to have to get a new frame.
Fuck. Well, shit happens. Jimmy's dead. Anyway,
if he actually dies, that would be spooky.
the author of the main book about it
He might
wrote
already be dead. Honestly.
in the book that the ventriloquism stuff was bullshit to the point where one of the family members threatened to sue for libel the Saturday Evening Post, and they immediately retracted. And everyone was like, no, Betsy was way too young to do ventriloquism. Like, there's no fucking way that she was able to pull that off.
Definitely a demon.
Yeah.
Rob Fox down another woman.
What?
Not believing in women.
Yeah. Do you know what? No, I am believing the woman. What?
You don't believe in her abilities as a ventriloquist.
Oh yeah, fair enough. So finally,
Like, oh, how could she ever do this?
there's no fucking way. So
Women don't have talent.
Has to be witchcraft.
finally, the people were like, all right, we're gonna test the witch. We're gonna figure this out. So John Johnson, the son of James, the guy who stayed the night or whatever, devised a test for the witch. Something he decided to ask the witch something that no one outside of his family would know. And so he asked the witch, he goes, so I have a Dutch step-grandmother in North Carolina, okay? And the witch was like, okay. And he was like, can you tell me what my Dutch step-grandmother in North Carolina says to her slaves when they fuck up? That was posed to the witch. If the witch gets it right,
It's oddly specific.
it's hyper specific. What is my grandma who's not related to me, who's fucking Dutch, say to slaves?
I thought the Dutch were anti-slavery.
Not the ones in America.
Yeah.
Maybe the ones in the Netherlands or whatever. So the witch replies in his grandmother's accent, hut hut, what has happened now? So I guess that's what his fucking Dutch grandma said to slaves.
That was a common phrase back then.
Well, she stuck the landing on it.
Yeah, everyone was saying that, man.
Everyone was saying hut hut, what has happened now?
That seems like a fairly nicer thing to say to a slave than I would imagine them saying.
Right. Yeah, walking up to me like, hey guys, what happened? What's going on here?
It'd probably be a little meaner than that, is what I would imagine.
In another account, an Englishman stopped by the house because he wanted to see what was going on. And he just mentioned, his family lives back in England. And the witch overhears him and just starts mimicking his parents. It's just like, oh, you're from England, all right? And the guy's like, oh, my fucking God. That's my parents' voices to a fucking T. Jesus. And he's like, wow, that's crazy. I'm going to go to sleep. So he goes to sleep. And he's woken in the morning. And again, they're like, oh, John, wake up. Like he hears his parents' voices again. Like, oh, John, I forgot out of bed. He's like, good Lord. My parents' voices woke me up. But no one's here. The witch is real. Sorry for doubting. And he fucking leaves. He's like, the witch is real. 100%. Witch is real. So the witch becomes so notorious. The Bell Witch becomes so notorious that one man who feared absolutely nothing decided he needed to see this demon for himself. The year is 1820. Do you know who this man was?
Abe Lincoln.
Close.
Ulysses S. Grant. Robert E. Lee.
I'm going to think earlier. John
Johnston?
Quincy Adams.
Closer.
Quincy Adams was dead by now, right?
No, he wasn't.
Adams was close to dead. Quincy was well alive.
Quincy was hunting
Come on.
for
Feared
the
no
center
one.
of the earth.
Feared no one.
Feared no one. 1820s.
Teddy Roosevelt?
Davy Crockett.
He would no, that would not be Teddy Roosevelt.
Andrew motherfucking Jackson
Oh.
shows up to the farm. Says, show me this fucking witch. He owned property in the county. He's like, I hear there's a witch in town.
Andrew Jackson was kind of a mix between Donald Trump and Nick Cage.
Andrew Jackson is Donald Trump if Donald Trump did the stuff that Donald Trump said.
If he was about that life.
Yeah. Donald Trump's not about that life. Andrew Jackson was that life. And if
He was
anyone wants to
crazy.
come at me like, oh, Donald Trump, blah, blah, no. Go read one fucking sentence about Andrew Jackson. No.
My man was
No,
king of New Orleans.
The answer is fucking no. Has done no.
Shot a couple times.
I understand that a piece of a bullet hit Donald Trump's ear. Andrew Jackson took one to the chest and then killed the guy who did it.
Well, nearly killed him.
No, he killed the guy.
No, he beat him with a cane.
Different guy. No, that guy didn't shoot him. That guy missed.
Oh yeah, that's right. It
But
didn't.
in the
No, he didn't
duel-
miss. It just didn't. It backfired.
Yeah. In the duel, though,
That's right.
Andrew Jackson took one to the chest
That's right.
and then pulled out his gun.
I forgot Old Hickory has a couple bullets in him.
No, he's only got one bullet in him.
I thought he had a couple from the service as well.
He also got slashed in the face as an 11-year-old trying to fight a British soldier.
That's right.
Took a sword to the fucking face.
Yeah.
So again,
But the bullet from the duel is lodged in him forever.
Don't come at me with anyone being as hard as Andrew Jackson. Certainly not any modern president.
And listen, did he wipe out a couple Indians? Yes.
A couple million.
But he also took one in.
He did adopt one, and that counts for 20.
At least he raised one as his own.
Yeah. So some of the Bell children allegedly had served under Jackson when he was a general. And Jackson, like I said, owned land not far from the Bell homestead. So the Bell household at the time, because of all the visitors and stuff, who may or may not have been paying, I don't really know, strained from resources either way. So Jackson was like, you know what? I know the Bells, and I want to see this witch, see if it's real. I'm going to bring a wagon full of supplies to help the Bells out because they served honorably under me, and I'm a good guy, blah, blah, blah. So Jackson and his soldiers and the wagon start to get near the Bell farm. And the wagon...
All along the bell tower?
Watchtower.
The bell tower.
Calm down, Bob Dylan. Or Jimi Hendrix. I don't know who did it first.
Bob Dylan did it first.
You
Jimi
just
Hendrix
assume
made it
Bob
good,
Dylan
though. 'Cause
wrote
Bob Dylan
everything?
I like the
bands.
Dave Matthews Band version the best. So
Nah, Jimi Hendrix version all the way.
That's the watchtower, but all on the bell tower. Or the bell tower is also a different song.
I don't know that one. How can you be all along a bell tower? Bell tower's like fucking, it's tiny.
Well, it's not
like
a
6
all
feet.
along the bell tower is not a song.
Anyway, the wagon's walking up or driving up, whatever, and it just fucking comes to a halt. The horses are like, nope, and the wagon just gets stuck. And Jackson, actually, I'm sorry, the horses aren't like, nope. The wagon gets stuck in a way that does not make sense. Like, it's not in mud or anything like that. It just won't move anymore. It just will not move, as if it's bewitched into a fixed stop. And Jackson and his men get out, and they try to push, and the horses try to pull, and nothing. It is just will not move. And Jackson exclaims, "By the eternal boys, it is the witch!" And this is my favorite, one of my favorite parts, maybe. Allegedly a quote unquote metallic voice was heard from the bushes. Maybe you can do this in post. It's just like, "All right, General, let the wagon move on. I will see you again tonight." And the wagon moves immediately.
And Andrew Jackson corroborates this story. He said this happened.
No, we don't have it from Jackson firsthand. This is all secondhand info.
Okay.
But super legit. And obviously, Jackson and his men stay in the Bell house that night to experience the witch. One of the guys,
I bet Jackson was trying to have an orgy with the ghost.
Jackson do all kinds of fucked up shit.
Yeah.
There's no question.
I mean, when he got into the White House, they had like a 7-day, week-long party.
That's awesome.
People were shitting in the White House, just like on the floor.
That's awesome.
People were fucking in the halls.
Damn.
You cannot, under any circumstances, elect a person from Tennessee to the White House.
He'll bring everyone. He'll bring the entire state.
They were screaming Rocky Top before it was even a thing.
Yeah.
Just butt fucking and screaming Rocky Top.
What a good old time.
No, Rocky Top. So one of Jackson's men, one of the soldiers who was obviously like not a big shot or whatever, like he wasn't an officer or anything, I don't think, just some underling, claimed he was like, I'm not scared of this fucking witch. In fact, I brought a silver bullet that I have loaded in my pistol, and I call this bullet the Witch Tamer.
Silver kill witches?
Who could say?
That's
Kill something, right?
Vampires.
Werewolves?
And vampires, too.
Vampires are
I think-
crucifixes and garlic.
Silver also. Silver
Okay.
will fuck them up. I think
Yeah,
silver.
because, yeah.
Silver is in general an anti-supernatural situation.
Yeah, because in the Witcher video games, you use the silver sword for all the monsters and the steel sword for humans.
It's like Valyrian steel.
A silver will cut through a vampire, no problem. It's straight up.
Turns to ash.
You swing and you don't feel anything. Yeah.
It's like going through leaves.
So one of Jackson's men, like I said, he's like, dude, I'm going to fuck this witch up. I got a silver bullet. I call it the Witch Tamer. In fact, I'm a witch layer. I've killed other witches. And Jackson just gets tired of hearing this guy fucking talk.
Fucking puts one in his head.
I wish. Jackson says, by the Eternals, I do wish the thing would come. I want to see him run. Like, he's like, I don't believe this guy. This guy's a bitch. I want to see this witch come out and make him look like a pussy. Soon after, the witch arrived and said to the witch slayer, because it's like, all right, shoot me. Where am I? Fucking shoot me. I guess maybe she even appeared because the man like points at where the voice was. Gun won't fire. And the witch countered, literally, quote, I'll teach you a lesson. Beat the shit out of the guy, grabbed him by his nose, and threw him out of the house.
By the nose, you say?
Yeah. Jackson exclaimed again, by the Eternal, boys! I never saw so much fun in all my life. This beats fighting the British.
Oh, my gosh.
The witch told Jackson she would uncover another rascal the next night, but in the morning, Jackson's men were like, let's leave because I don't know who she means, and I don't want to get fucked up. So let's just get the fuck out of here. And they did. But some people are not so sure that Jackson was there. According to one historian, quote, the 1824 presidential election was so malicious and it seems hard to believe that his opponent would have overlooked the opportunity to drag him through the mud for losing a fight to a witch.
That's Quincy, right? Yeah, because Quincy won the first election, and then Jackson and him were just mudslinging.
Yeah, it was a dirty, dirty election. But maybe the best argument that this was a real spirit that was once a human was that...
And you would think Quincy would be about that life, too, because he had his own weird shit. So maybe that's why he didn't go after the witch.
You get yelled at for mole people. You don't want to open the mole
Go into the center of the earth, which he thought
don't
was hollow.
You don't want that smoke.
Yeah. Which, he didn't necessarily believe in it, but he hung around people that did believe in it.
Right. Best not to open that door.
Mm.
So the spirit was pretty cliquey and played favorites with the Bell family. The spirit really liked John Bell's wife, Lucy, calling her, quote, the most perfect woman to walk the earth. The witch would give Lucy fresh fruit and sing hymns to her.
Was she trying to clap the cheeks?
Dude, fucking maybe. The witch also liked John Bell Jr., showed him some respect. But holy fuck, did the witch hate John Bell Sr., the owner of the farm. The witch was quoted as saying, the disembodied voice of the witch was quoted as saying, Mr. Bell is a bad man.
It's probably curmudgeon.
I think he was kind of a dick, yeah. As far as I could... I don't know, but she called him Old Jack, and the witch claimed that she intended to kill him.
Oh, man.
Why couldn't she?
Well,
He was made of silver.
In 1817, when she first showed up, John Bell Sr. came down with a neurological disorder that got worse and worse over the next several years. And according to legend, every time John Bell Sr. would suffer gravely from this neurological disorder, the witch could be heard laughing at him as he was just like, the witch was like, fuck you.
Oh, man.
I like that, though. It's long term. You have a rival.
She wants him to suffer for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh,
you,
yeah.
You don't make it painless.
So John Bell,
Building up that rivalry or that enemy, that true, unadulterated, like pure passion and hate, that pure hatred. There's something to that.
keeps you going.
I'm sure they like. I know he probably a little piece of him enjoyed this.
You think it kept him going?
I think so. It's just a little bit of spite fuel.
Well, he died in 1820 on December 19th. At the age of 70, though.
Yeah, I don't think it was the witch.
Well, John Bell
lived a good
Jr.,
life.
his son, found poison next to his dad's bed. And the witch is believed to have poisoned Bell and reportedly laughed and sang at his deathbed.
I thought Junior was cool.
Yeah, Junior was cool. She killed Senior.
So somebody literally murdered this man with poison over a long period of time.
No. It was immediate. Like, he had a neurological disorder, but then one day she was just like, I'm done with you. Blip, put some poison. Fuck
Okay.
you.
Or yeah,
The Bell Witch is said to
definitely
have...
a ghost.
Yeah, it's fucking the Joker just finally pulling out the gun and shooting Batman in the head.
Yeah. So she said that the Bell Witch was quoted as saying, she fixed him, and I did it, and he will not get up. She also ruined his funeral by singing really raunchy drinking songs. So they're trying to be like, and the Lord will protect us. And she was just like, and 5 cunts per every pint, 5 points for every cunt.
She seems like a
Whatever the
good
fuck.
time.
Right?
Yeah, this
No?
witch is dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hardcore.
In 1821, at the behest of the witch, Betsy Bell called off her engagement to none other than Joshua Gardner. So the man that Betsy was in love with, the engagement was called off at the behest of the witch, and Betsy was once accused of using ventriloquism to convince, I guess, Joshua Gardner to marry her.
Why did they not move at any point?
Don't let the terrorists win.
Right. You
True
don't
that.
give it to terrorists, and also
Respect.
it had to be easier back then, but let me tell you, man. Buying and selling property sucks ass.
You think it's easy to
There's
just fucking pick up everything you have and
There's a
start
level.
fresh?
There's a level.
Build a new cabin somewhere else. Yeah.
There's a level of ghost I would deal with in my current house.
And she doesn't sound that bad.
So
She sounds kind of like it's an entertaining thing, right? You don't have TV, you don't have radio yet.
right.
Like your life's pretty much, but this is kind of refreshing. You know, you have
Something to do.
It keeps you occupied.
New people every day.
Yeah.
The entity, the witch, told the family it was going to leave but return in 7 years in 1821. The witch returned in time for Lucy and her sons, Richard and Joel, to fuck with them. They were doing similar. She was doing similar shit. She is said to have spoken to John Jr. for 3 nights about, quote, the past, present, and future. But the family was like, knowing what they knew the first time around, which is like the more we got into it,
Just the ghost of Christmas past.
yeah, she was like, I'm going to tell you
Present
about the
and
past.
future.
Now I'm going to tell you about now. Now I'm going to tell you about the future. 3 nights in a row. But the family knew. They're like, dude, the more we lean into her shit, the more she gets stronger. So let's just fucking ignore her and see what happens.
Yeah.
And
Like any good bully, just ignore it.
she went away.
There we
She
go.
said she would.
Wow.
She said she would return to John Bell's most direct descendant 107 years later in 1935. There are no tales from 1935 that exist, but there are tales from more recently,
Oh.
from the Bell family.
Jordan Bell.
Lucy Butler, née Bell, is a direct descendant of John Bell Jr. and is named for John Bell's wife, Lucy. John Bell Sr.'s wife, Lucy. She has said that she and her daughter, Jennifer, have seen the black rabbit-headed dog, and that they often saw, much like Betsy originally saw, a giggling girl running around their house at night. She said, quote, I was thinking that might have been the Bell Witch. That would have been the sweet side of her. The little girl would play with Jennifer's toys, and the family dog was not afraid of her. She stayed, would come out at night, and she was sweet and giggled. She would watch over Jennifer.
Aw.
Yeah. However, the Bell Witch was still antagonistic to members of the Bell family that were dicks, I guess you could say. The Bell Witch specifically did not like Lucy's father, who was apparently a smooth-talking, good-looking actor in Memphis who had some involvement with the Florida Mafia. Whoever that is. You know anything about the Florida Mafia?
No. The Jews?
Who knows?
Jews?
And what time period is this?
This is now. This is from in the last 40 years.
Oh, last 40 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Butler, or maybe 50 years, but either way. Lucy Butler recalls one incident in which she was a child and her dad was about to host a party at their house. Her dad had recently purchased last 6 years, recently purchased like a brand new stereo system, this is the 1960s. This is like a luxury. This is like an incredible thing. This is a fucking new Xbox situation. And he was about to have this big party and show off his brand new stereo system. Be like, look how rich I am. It's definitely not Florida Mafia money that got me this. When they walked into the music room, there were thousands of crickets in there.
Holy shit.
And they flooded the stereo. They ran into the stereo system and ruined it.
Jesus.
Butler's husband, Larry Butler, was skeptical of the story at first, but then he drove out, and he was like, and he's a Christian, so he's like, I'm going to drive out to the Bell Farm with a Bible and confront this fucking witch. I'm going to go into the cave that's there and confront it. But the cave was closed, and he was like, he tried to tough guy it. He's like, I'm glad it was, because I had a Bible. I would have fucking done it. But he did say that the witch haunted their house later, and to this day, Lucy's like, I believe in it. I saw the things that happened. I was there. It's not bullshit. Blah, blah, blah. That is the story of the Bell Witch, on whom the Blair Witch is based.
Ooh.
Doesn't really sound like the Bell Witch is the Blair Witch.
You know, it's just a witch in Appalachia. Sometimes you take liberties.
Yeah. I mean, this witch just kind of seemed bored.
I think the witch mostly liked to fuck with people.
Which I would do if I was dead and cursed to roam the land for eternity.
Yeah. Especially if someone
What else
woke
you
you
gonna do?
up.
Yeah. Hitler is, I want to say the old guy.
Who is today's Hitler?
The man that bought the land.
John Bell Sr.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just because like
Woke
he
the
couldn't
spirit
get.
up.
I mean, everyone else seemingly got on our good side. Why couldn't he reach an agreement? I guess.
He was kind of the
Have
only
a peace
one.
offering.
Well, the witch did fuck with Betsy for a while.
Yeah, but they became agreeable.
I guess she did stab Betsy a lot and scratch Betsy and hit Betsy.
She's taking out some aggression. No, she's just picking on a smaller child.
Ant on my leg.
Spooky shit.
Who's today's Hitler, Bush?
Yeah, I'd say the dad or the elder.
Yeah, this is Dad.
'Cause he
John Bell Sr.
disturbed them.
Actually, you know what? The
Disturb
Hitler
the
today is the ghost that went up Bush's penis.
Yeah.
The
Well, don't
demon,
call him that. I actually
spirit.
I respect you, Duende. I respect you. They just want to be acknowledged.
Yes, well.
The Duende just want to be acknowledged. They just tell them you're about to pee there. You know, the guy, the president's son, who told us to, let the spirit know before you pee on the bush. He said that he would wake up with scratches on his face every night. Every morning he'd wake up with scratches on his face. He tells his grandma about it. She says, "Oh, that's just a duende. You got to just say, before you go to bed, say, 'I see you, duende.'" And then he did, and then the scratches stopped. He says, "I got the duende on my shoulder right now." He would believe in this. Like, he was, like, dead serious. I was like, oh, shit. What up, duende? But, yeah, the duende just want to be acknowledged. I think that's how they work.
This witch was a duende. And what did we learn today? That something jumped up.
I mean, she got a
jumped
lot
up
of
Bush's-
acknowledgement, and she didn't let up, though.
Yeah, she got nothing. It made it worse.
Yeah, so no, she's different kind of spirit.
What'd you learn today?
I learned that it's good to have something like you have a daily activity or like a daily nemesis. I think it's good to have a daily nemesis to make life more interesting.
Haters make the grinders grind.
Yeah.
Agree with that.
That's how you kind of, get above everyone else in this life. That's how you get a step ahead. Even if like no one's actually out to get you or out to, put you down, create that person. Whether it's through
Invent them.
ventriloquist dolls like Rob
Yeah.
or an evil spirit
Your wife doesn't love you.
from the Appalachian
Your
Mountains.
children don't respect you. Gotta write harder.
Maybe a combination of both.
You're right. The writing is the gayest part about you. That's why they don't love you. Gotta write even harder.
Yeah. So
Fuck you.
find somebody
You're not funny.
to direct all your energy and hate towards. Be petty
Petty as fuck.
and grind hard, baby.
What'd you learn today?
I learned that Andrew Jackson is a badass. I guess I already knew that. He likes to say, "By the Eternals."
Yeah, by the eternal. By the eternal.
I learned that people in 1817 were fucking stupid.
Yeah, I learned that again. I could
You and Jeff,
conquer the
you
world
and Jeff
with
Dunham.
we could
14 people.
very easily
Yeah.
take over the world. We wouldn't even need a smartphone.
Without a single bullet thrown
Yeah.
into the air.
Agree with that. Well, for Dan Regester and our special guest, Alex Buscemi, thank you for being on.
Of course, man. I'm always down to come on.
I hope your innards are better.
Yeah, they're getting better, slowly but surely.
I am Rob Fox.
You just got saucer.